Good morning, student. This is the biology class, and in this class, I will discuss about the chapter improvement in the food resources. In the improvement in the food resources, in previous class we have discussed about the what type of the crop, and there is a what is the season of crop in which they grow, and what are the methods by which we can improve the yields of the crop, we can improve the variety of the crop. So in the type of crop we have discussed about that there are the different type of the crop, and these all the crop have the different type of the food resources. In that crop we have discussed about the cereals, there is the pulses, there is the vegetables, fruit, oil seeds. These cereals is the source of the carbohydrate, pulses are the source of the protein, all seeds are the source of the fat, and there is the vegetables and the fruits are the source of the minerals. These are the different type of the crop. In the next section we have discussed about what are the different type of the crop and in which season they are grown. So on the basis of their harvesting period and cultivation period, the crops are categorized into the three groups. There is the Kharif crop, Rabi crop and the Zaid crop. In the Kharif crop we have discussed about the previous classes. The crop that are grown into in between the June to the October means the crop that are cultivated in the month of the June or mid-month of the June and cultivated up to the October month or November first week. So such type of the crop is known as the Kharif crop. The crop that are cultivated in the month of November and harvested up to the March or mid-April, such type of the crop is known as the Rabi crop. And there is another last one, that is the Kharif crop. Kharif crop is those crops that are cultivated in the month of April and harvested in the month of the May. So these crops, Kharif crop are those examples of the Kharif crop are wheat. In that there is a means in the month of the June to the October there is the rice. There is the barley, maize, these are the Kharif crop. Rabi crop, that is the pulses, wheat, these are the Rabi crop. Zaid crop, there is the cucumber, muskmelon, watermelon, means all the fruits or the vegetables that have sufficient water content. They are cultivated in the month of the April to the June and they comes under the Zaid crop. After that we have discussed about the improved variety, improvement in the yields. How we can improve the yields of the product. So in the improvement of the yield of the product, we have discussed the 3 points. The first point was the crop variety improvement. Improvement of yield variety. Improvement of yield variety. Improvement of yield variety. And in this improvement of yield variety, in this topic, we have discussed the 3 points. The first, point is the crop variety improvement. Crop variety improvement. Crop variety improvement. The first was the crop variety improvement. Second was the production management. Crop production management. Crop production management. And third one is the crop protection management. Crop protection management means there are the three methods. By these three methods, including these three methods, we are able to improve the variety of the yields. The first method, the crop variety improvement. There is the second, the crop production management, and third is the crop protection management. Means all these three methods are simultaneously used for the improvement of the yields. Not only a single method improve in the variety, improve in the yields. Not as a single method help in the development of the improved variety of the seeds. So all the three methods help in the development of the seed simultaneously. So we will discuss all the methods. One, crop variety improvement, crop production management, and crop protection management. How we can improve the crop variety, how we can manage the production, and how we can protect the plant. There are the different methods are used, and these methods we will discuss. First of all, I will discuss about the crop variety improvement. Crop variety. So first, in the crop variety improvement, I will discuss about what is the need to improve the crop variety. There is the first question is that what is the need to improve the crop variety? Question: what is the need to improve crop variety? Crop variety. Why we do for the improvement of the crop variety? What is the need? So the first need to improve the productivity of the crop. There is a first need to improve the productivity of the crop. So first answer would be there to improve the productivity of crop first. But if the crop production is this improved crop productivity gives the higher yield, is this sufficient? No. So there is another thing, the quality of the yields. Not the productivity only, means this also helps to improve the productivity, to improve the quality of the seeds. Means this method, the crop variety improvement technique, help in the productivity of the crop, and this also help to develop quality of the quality seeds. This helps to develop quality seeds. This helps to develop quality seeds. Means there in the crop variety improvement, the first we perform the crop variety improvement. First of all thing, why? So first thing is that there is to improve the productivity of the crop. Second thing, this help in the improvement of the quality of the seeds. Seed quality will be improved in the crop variety improvement. Also there is another thing. This help in the development of the seeds. So the seeds will be the quality seeds. So which type of the quality? What is the concern with the quality? What is the matter of what is the quality seeds? What is the quality seeds? So the quality seeds means the seeds are those that can grow into the abiotic factor, that can resist abiotic factor. Means the seeds have resistance against abiotic factor. Abiotic factor. So what is the abiotic factor? So what is the abiotic factor? What is the abiotic factor? What is the abiotic? Means abiotic adverse means there is the against the abiotic factor, against the adverse abiotic factor there is a one more point, that is the adverse abiotic factor. Means the seed has the resistance against the adverse abiotic factor. And what is the abiotic factor? So abiotic factor factors are climatic factor, What are the climatic factors? This climatic factor can include the drought, if there is a drought, the food crop can be damaged and the seeds cannot be developed. There is the waterlogging. So if there is a heavy rainfall will take place, and due to the heavy rainfall in the cropland there is a waterlogging will take place, and if there is a waterlogging, so that waterlogging can affect the plant productivity. So these are the abiotic factors. If there are more waterlogging, so they will affect the plant production, and the plant production will improve, so seed variety will be improved. There is another factor, that is the heat or cold. If there is the extreme heat or if there is the extreme cold, so that will also affect the productivity of the plant. So the seeds, we must have the quality seeds, and that quality seeds must have the resistant power. The quality seeds must have the resistance against the adverse abiotic factor, and these are the adverse abiotic factor, that is the climatic factor like the drought, like the heat, cold, extreme heat, extreme cold, waterlogging. These are the abiotic factor. Another thing, we need to improve the crop variety. In that crop variety, the quality of the seeds. So there is the seeds also have the resistance against the abiotic factor, and these seeds also have the resistance against the pest. Seeds have resistance against the pest. And what is the pest? Seeds have resistance against the pest. So first of all, what is the pest? What is the pest? So these pests are the microorganism. These pests are the microorganism. And what type of the microorganism? There are the microorganisms in the nature, and that microorganisms are the two types. They are either helpful or the harmful. So pests are the microorganisms that affect the growth of the plant, that affect the productivity of the crop, that affect the seeds, that are known as the pest. So pests are the microorganisms, and these microorganisms have the negative effect, adverse effect on the plant. They affect the plant growth. They affect the seed quality. Okay. So these are the methods. These are the requirements for which we have need to improve the variety of the crop. So first improvement, what is the need? First need is to improve the productivity of the crop, or the crop productivity, to improve the quality seeds, to develop the quality seeds, and to develop the seeds that have the resistance against the adverse abiotic factor. Means in the adverse condition the plant can survive, and if the plant can survive, the plant productivity will increase, and the productivity will be the improved productivity, high yield productivity. There is another thing, there is the seeds. Seeds also must have the resistance against the pest, that is the microorganism that cause the damage to the plant or that can affect the productivity of the crop. Okay. Now, so these are the needs. So now the question, how can we develop the improved variety of the seeds? How we can develop? How can we develop the crop variety? So we can develop the crop variety by using the quality seeds. By using the quality seeds, we can able to develop the crop variety improvement. So now the question is, how we are able to produce the quality seeds? What are the different ways to develop the quality seeds? So there are the different ways, there are the different techniques by which we are able to develop the variety of the seeds, quality seeds. And these quality seeds are developed either by the change in their genetic makeup, means there is by the method of the genetic engineering, or by the change in the gene, or there is a mutation, or there is the one most important technique that is known as the hybridization. By the method of the hybridization, we are able to produce the quality seeds. By the mutation, by the way of the mutation, we are able to the hybridization. We are able to produce the variety of the seeds. And there is another method, by the method of the selection methods, we are able to produce the different variety of the seeds. So dear students, note down these points. After that, I will discuss about what are the methods that are used to develop the variety or quality of the seeds. What are the different methods? Okay, note down this point. So hopefully you all have written this point. So now I will discuss the methods to develop the quality seeds for the improvement of the variety crop quality seeds. Methods. So for the development of the variety crop variety improvement, and in that crop variety improvement, development of quality seeds. Development of quality seeds. So this development of quality seeds can be performed by the different methods. The first method is known as the hybridization. Hybridization. Second method is the genetic mutation or induced mutation. And third one is the selection. And these all methods comes under the breeding process. These all methods comes under the breeding process. Means overall we have to develop the quality seeds, so we can able to develop the quality seeds by these three methods. The first we know the hybridization method. Second, there is the induced mutation method, and there is another selection method. And last one, there is the genetic engineering. There is the genetic engineering method. Genetic engineering method. Last one, there is the genetic engineering method. Okay. The most recently, there is the genetic engineering method are used to develop the crop variety improvement for the development of the quality of the seeds. In a very short, I will discuss here what is the hybridization. So hybridization is a technique in which two different desirable variety of the plants are crossed together. Two different desirable variety of the plants are crossed together. Means there are the two different variety of the crop, and in that two different variety of the crop there is a desirable characteristic we require in a single plant. So we cross in between these two plants, and after the cross there we are able to develop a new plant, and the new plant will develop, that is known as the hybrid plant. For example, there is the plant A, and there is a plant B. The plant A has the characteristics. These are short height. Plant B has the characteristics high yields. And pest resistant. A plant A has the characteristic that is they are the short height plant. Plant B has the high yield variety, means in that the production is the maximum, and this production is maximum because they are the pest resistant, means they have the resistant power against the microorganisms that affect the growth of the plant, that affect the seed development or production of the plant. We need these two characteristics in the single plant. So what happened? So in that case, we have to hybridize them. And after the hybridization technique, we are able to produce a different variety of the plants with the different variety of the seeds. That is the plant C, we can say plant C. And in this plant C has the characteristics of the short height plant, as well as there is a high yields as well as the pest resistance variety. And these plants are developed by the process of the hybridization. The plants developed by the process of the hybridization, such plants are known as the hybrid plant. So in such a way we can also develop the hybrid animals also. Means by the process of the hybridization we are able to develop the hybrid organism, and when we discuss about the organism, that means we are talking about the plant and animals both. So these hybridization techniques help in the development of the hybrid one, either in the plants or animals. So in the plants, how we can develop this hybrid plant? So before discussion with the hybridization in detail, I will discuss about the pollination process, how the reproduction takes place in the plant. So first of all, I will discuss about the pollination process. What are the different type of the pollination and what is the pollination? Pollination. Pollination in the plants is a process by which there is the transfer of the pollen grains. To the female reproductive parts of the plant, so that in that there is the fertilization takes place, and after the fertilization the seeds will develop. These pollen grains are considered as the male gamete. And these male gametes are transferred from the anther of the flower to the female part of the flower. So before discussing about the pollen grain and this, I will give the very brief idea about the bisexual flower, in which the male reproductive parts and female reproductive parts are there. So this structure, we will go to the bisexual flower structure. So this one is the structure of the bisexual flower. And in that bisexual flower structure, there are the structure. This structure is known as this complete structure. This one is known as the anther. And this structure is known as the filament. Inside this anther there are the pollen grains are present. Inside this anther there are the pollen grains. Number of the pollen grains are present, and these pollen grains are the male gamete. This complete structure is the female reproductive system, and in that female reproductive system, this one structure is known as the stigma. This tube-like structure, complete tube-like structure is known as the style. And this oval structure, circular structure or bulge structure is known as the ovary. And inside this ovary there is the ovule present. Inside this ovary there is the ovule present. And inside this ovule there is a female gamete is present. Inside there is a female gamete is present. Ovule. This one is the ovule. Ovule. And that is the female gamete. So during the process of the pollination, from the anther, when the anther matures, this anther descends takes place, means the wall of the anther rupture, and from this the pollen grains comes out. And these pollen grains that is the male gamete, they are pollinated with the help of the pollinating agent, either by the wind or insects or water. They are pollinated, and during the pollination process, these pollen grains reach to the stigma of the flower, either of the same flower of the same plant or of the different flower of the different plant or different flower of the same plant. There is three things. First, the pollen grain reach to the same flower of the same plant, means this pollen grain is produced in the anther, and this is the same part of this plant, and in the female reproductive system is there is the stigma. So pollen grain reach to the same flower of the same plant. First thing, or there may be these pollen grain reach to the different flower of the same plant, or there is another thing, these pollen grain reach to the different flower of the different plant. Okay, so that is the pollination. So on the basis of this, the pollination are of two types. This pollination are known as the self-pollination and cross-pollination. Cross-pollination. Self-pollination are those in which the pollen grain transfer from the anther to the stigma of the same flower. That is known as the self-pollination. Anther to the stigma of the same flower, that is known as the self-pollination. And if the pollen grain transfer from the anther of the one flower to the stigma of the other flower, that is known as the cross-pollination. So with the help of the pollination, the pollen grain are transferred, and after the transferring of the pollen grain, this pollen grains comes to the stigma, and from the stigma this pollen grains means male gamete reach to the ovule, and at this place there is the fertilization process takes place, and after the fertilization the seeds will develop, and the seeds have the ability to develop into the new ones. So in such a way there is the seeds are developed. That is the way of the pollination. So during the process of the hybridization, this pollination process takes place, and that pollination takes place, and in that pollination, that is the cross pollination are performed. By the method of the cross pollination, we are able to develop the hybrid plant with the desirable characteristics. So that is the overview of the pollination or the sexual reproduction in the plant. Now I will discuss the hybridization technique, how the hybridization will perform in the plant, how can we develop the hybrid plant in the next class. So dear students, read this topic, and today is your homework. Write the difference in between the Kharif crop and the Rabi crop. Your homework, today's homework. Revise this topic and the homework. Difference between the Rabi crop, Kharif crop and Zaid crop. First, differentiate or difference among Kharif crop, Rabi crop and Zaid crop. First thing. Second question. List the 5 crop of the each type of crop. 5 example of the list. 5 examples. List 5 examples of each crop on the basis of their seasonal pattern. On the basis of their seasonal pattern, you have to make a list of the 5 different crops. Name of the 5 different crops. That is your homework. Okay, there is a 2 question in your homework. First, difference among the Kharif, Rabi and Zaid crop. Second, in your homework, list the 5 example of the crop on their cropping pattern, season of the crop. Like the Kharif crop, 5 example of the Kharif crop, 5 example of the Rabi crop and 5 example of the Zaid crop. So that is today's class. Hopefully I am very hopeful. This class will be the beneficial for you. And this class will be beneficial if you will revise this chapter, whatever I teach you. So just revise this chapter and go through the reading through your book, either NCERT or side book, and try to solve the questions, whatever the given in the homework. Thank you, dear students.